everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, as you know, being over in Orlando, still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And now an introduction here to the starting 11 on offense.
Let's take a look at Willie Snead, wide receiver, undrafted coming into the league. He's the quintessential coach's son, knows how to play the game so well, and plays it with joy.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. A look at the Buccaneers starters now on defense. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, McLaughlin. And he finds Cook. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On first down, McLaughlin. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Kamara. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. Operating from the gun. McLaughlin on the check down. He finds Kamara. And he works free. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Off play action. McLaughlin under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 20 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
From the 30 on second down, Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Watson just beating the play clock. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
To throw on second down, McLaughlin to the goal line, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Lutz is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 15 now. Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Third and long, it's Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Murray. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McLaughlin. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 12-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one fielded at the 5. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 20. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
On 1st and 10, Watson. That one taken in by Carlos Henderson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
56, Mike, 56, right there. Here we go, D. Whip, 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 whip. Hey, you got to sign up, bro.
On 2nd and 15 now. Watson, that's taken in by Henderson. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now a first down throw. Watson escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Foster on second down, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, here's Watson. Got an open man, it's Foster. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
They'll give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
So they do get to 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. 14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Throwing on first down, McLaughlin. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Looking to throw. McLaughlin. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Willie Snead. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On first down, it's Watson. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On first down, Watson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. Safe.
To throw is Watson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Watson, sliding out of the pocket. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. So we've come to the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing on third down, Watson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Back to throw. McLaughlin. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Off the play fake. McLaughlin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. McLaughlin under pressure again, and down he goes again. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McLaughlin, that's complete to his running back, Kamara. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Boy, he ran free there after the catches. That winds up going for 38.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. 56.
And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
On 2nd down, Clement. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Watch the curls. Switch. Joker.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
56.
Here's Clement. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Corey Clement, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd? And they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
This fielded at the 2. Unable to corral him. He fights through.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
On 1st and 10, McLaughlin. That'll be complete to Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
He's checking crap.
On the counter, here's Kamara. There he goes again, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 17 yards out, and the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak,
at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak. He's first 3 times. There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. A first down carry for Foster. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Safety's creeping. Look smart. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
From the 50, it's Watson. He finds his target, Beckham. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Sponge. No.
Back to throw, Watson. It's caught, Beckham. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Play 56, Mike.
Out of the gun, Watson. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the red zone now, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Watch out. SOS.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
What you got, Heavy?
Again, it's Watson. Buying time to his left. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone. So
that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see him back just going to have a grin on his face every time his number is called because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw here's incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He uncorks it for Snead. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now Natson.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting block.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Von Bell. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And Thomas has it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one.
And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification. That's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But just say 3 rushing touchdowns and, of course, throw it to him where he's caught one as well.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go one more.
Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
He's coming. Double 9. He's coming. Double. 56 the mark, boy. 56. Check 56.
Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the own...
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at a guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. On 1st and 10, Watson. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down.
And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Watson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
14 yards is the pickup, first down, New Orleans.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak. Late in ball games.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. They go with Murray again. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right down the middle. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check 43.
Throwing again is Watson. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Hey, 4 down. Go.
One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 42nd mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Saints, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time.